Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Coins Alert channel. As usual, I'm going to make another video about XRP today. I hope everyone is having a great day, no matter where they are in the world. Today, we're going to talk about XRP. Here is the one-day chart. Where is the one-day chart? We're down 3.52% today. xrp had another bad day. I'd like to see the 7-day picture, though. That bottom price was $2.75. Should we aim for a higher bottom around $2.95 and then start to move up? That might be possible. There are a lot of negative people who say, we're going back down under $2. I'm going to wait until the amount is less than $2 before I invest. That's not likely to happen. And take a look at Bitcoin, which is currently worth $114,000. Bitcoin also had a bad day because we're still watching it until we separate ourselves from it. Also, I'm still looking for Bitcoin to make its last big move up, but now is the time to either buy more XRP or do nothing. Things are going to get better. In fact, I talked about Mark Hogan in that video yesterday, and he said that there might be a crash in August. In his speech, he seemed to be talking more about Bitcoin than altcoins, which are utility-based cryptocurrencies. This is because I believe that XRP would start to rise even without Bitcoin. That was said by King Valex. The news about XRP tells you not to expect a big rise like in the past, like in 2017. This is true even though the payment stablecoin bill passed. Do you get it? To keep you poor, they want you to buy less. I agree with that. They always want you to think that it might be too late to get into XRP. You're still ahead of the game if you buy now because XRP is going up. It's going to be very helpful from now on. There's a lot more growth to come, but they want you to think that XRP has reached its peak. And that's not true at all. A lawyer for Ripple named Bill Morgan says that companies are quietly adding XRP to their balance sheets. This is supported by business disclosures. Modern payment solutions are becoming more popular because regulations are becoming clearer. They are also moving away from Bitcoin. They're starting to add more cryptocurrencies that are useful to their investments as a way to diversify. But he said this was necessary to make things clear about XRP. Even though we know it's not a security risk, some institutions need rules in place before they act. It looks like they'll be paying a lot more for it. Nearly $1 billion and XRPs are now being held as cash by public companies that are not Ripple. This doesn't include what Ripple has in his hands. You can already see the trend, and the papers prove it. We know this is true because it's in the news. The value of XRP is only $1 billion right now. It will be $2 billion soon, and then $5 billion. If these companies don't just buy XRP and wait for the price to go up so they can sell it, $10 billion worth of it will be taken out of circulation. They are going to use this coin in their daily work. Bill Morgan was only interested in this one business. Because of the SEC, more businesses are planning to keep XRP on their books. The Form 10Q that Flora Growth Corp filed shows that it has XRP, Solana, and ETH in its bank sheet. The company's website says that it bought digital assets to make its bank sheet stronger. Hyperscale Data Inc. filed a Q Form 8K, which shows that it will start giving monthly reports on the digital assets it owns from this month on. With the first report to show the first XRP investments that were added to the balance sheet, Hyperscale said on May 28, 2025, that its company Alt Capital Group Inc. was going to buy $10 million worth of XRP. This business only has 44,653 left now. There are likely a lot of other small businesses that are also buying crypto and keeping it on their books. Those are the businesses that don't make the big news. Of course, no one talks about the fact that those businesses buy XRP. But once more, they will probably use it for the daily payments those businesses will make. They're going to keep it secret for a long time. This is from John Squire and is huge for XRP. The head of the CFTC said that all of the big banks will speed up their Bitcoin and crypto services. For assets like XRPs that were made for institutions, ready for compliance, and in line with ISO 222, this clears the way. Listen to this. Banks from working with digital assets without first getting a letter of non-objection from the bank officials. The well-known SEBI 121 I believe the SC forgot that banks are public businesses and that they hold things. Getting that revoked by temporary chairman Aida on what I think was his second day in office was a huge deal. So these things can be done by banks. Of course, JP Morgan, BNY, Citi, and all the other banks have been very busy in the world of digital assets. It's just been quiet. I believe you will now be able to see them speed up a lot. That means that all of the projects that people have been working on since 2016 will now start to see more rollout and volume. And so on. To be honest, a lot of it has been done through portfolio companies and strategic purchases in stocks. That is why you will see that launch. That being said, it's really the bank regulator's job to make sure they're happy with the banks and their risk control frameworks. After that, a lot will happen. We know the banks are coming. Also, we know that businesses are setting up XRP reserves. Now, $5 billion coming in could easily push XRP above $7. Take a look at that. Only $5 billion came in. At this point, I still think that the XRP ETF will do much better than the Bitcoin ETF. I think that was only done to get the schools interested in this area. But I think the institutions will be more excited if you talk to them about how they could use something to send their own money around the world in seconds for less than a penny. Where the excitement lies. Also, think about what would happen if just $10 billion came into XRP. The XRP is likely to go up to $14 or $15 right away. More and more XRP is being held by finance companies and not used. People are going to buy XRP and store it at their local banks because banks are also going to take advantage of this chance. They will tell people that their XRP could earn them interest. People who are used to having CDs or ERA at the bank now have this crypto choice. Some of that cryptocurrency will also be locked away for a while. You could see that we are already moving toward a lack of things. There will be an XRP ETF by September or October. That gives you an idea of when XRP might hit 2 digits if these ETF are approved by September or October. As I've said in other videos, everyone wants XRP to be worth $4 to $8 by the end of August. I think we'll hit 10% maybe at the end of September or beginning of October. We might even go over $20 by then, but that won't be the highest point. And when that happens, everyone will call the top, and people will sell way too soon based on what other people say, only to see the price go up. When you think about this along with the Fed's interest rate cuts time, then think about how clear regulations are going to be soon. The Ripple versus SECA 3-digit XRP, and I'm out. I believe that many people are too strict with the after that. You start to look past that. The process of tokenization should speed up around the same time. Stopping South Korea is taking big steps with XRP. 20 million XRP, which is worth $60 million, was just moved to an unknown new bank. What does Korea understand that the rest of the world does not? XRP is rising again. When you see this kind of movement, I am not sure if this is whales. This makes me think that institutions, maybe big businesses, are buying up XRP. This is no longer a store. This is happening more and more now. Where does all that XRP go? A lot of it seems to be being taken out of circulation. And I think it might happen all at once. When people finally understand that all of their XRP is gone and locked away, FOMO strikes at the same time. Yes, but what about keeping prices low? It comes from smoke. This means that SBI Holdings